Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rafe prayers to EJ to renew Gabi's case, and Nicole discovers Abby's indicting notes. Rafe meets Ava at Wendy and Tripp's place. They left her a key while they were in Hong Kong. He tells her the working supposition is that Gil killed Lee. Can she help them prove it? She insists she doesn't know anything, but eventually agrees to do what she can to help. Eric comes to the Spectator and finds Thomas there for Take Your Sprat to Work Day. Thomas wants to be a journalist like his mama. Chad joins them, proudly beaming. After Eric sends Thomas to check out the print room, he notes what a great sprat he is. Chad credits Abigail. Eric is sure she's smiling down on them. EJ storms into the manse, surprised to see Nicole. She's there on break from work. She wanted to try to mend walls with Holly, but she's out. EJ apologizes for his part in their fight, but Nicole knows he was just trying to help like he always does. Relating that Chloe gave birth to Holly and a guardianship battle replaced, she wonders if effects would be different had she raised her from the veritably morning. She was hoping to have that chance with their son. EJ bristles. Further, Hollywood A-lister defends detergents at the bistro. Stefan and Kristen toast to chancing Lee's real killer and Gabi eventually coming home. Despite not understanding Stefan's love for Gabi, she authentically hopes they get a real chance to be together. Just keep that wine down from me. Stefan reminds her that Gabi's not out yet. Plus, that lead fell into her stage because he set up the black book. Kristen warns him not to go back on their deal. Stefan reaffirms that the charge is to oust EJ and fit her as CEO, but getting Gabi out of captivity is the precedence. Stefan wants to impel EJ to renew Gabi's case, but Kristen convinces him to stay for Rafe to find further substantiation. Sloane finds a crapulous Leo on the domain bench with a liquor bottle in a brown paper bag. She yells at him for blowing up her life by telling EJ about Jude. Leo points out he was drunk and wasn't allowing. He authentically apologizes, but Eric cut him off financially. Plus, he believes Jude should be with his natural mama. Jude is no way going back to Nicole, Sloane declares. Ever. Further dubieties over Gil's guilt at the apartment. Rafe brings up Ava's felonious history while trying to figure out why Stefan took the fall for her with the medicines. Was there commodity going on between them? Ava assures him the only woman Stefan loves is Gabi. Rafe presents his proposition that Gil came to the apartment looking for her, but ran into Lee. Why differently would he come there? Ava gashes over, reminding Rafe that Gil was a sexual bloodsucker who she killed in toned defense. She grows more emotional, allowing Lee failed because of her. She'd tell him if she knew anything, but she doesn't. Rafe warns he wouldn't stop digging while his family's freedom is on the line. Announcement at the manse. EJ asks Nicole to attend an forthcoming Megacity Hall fundraiser with him. Nicole is always proud to be on his arm, but also, she might be suitable to pick up commodity for her and Eric's composition on Salem's Unhoused. After a lot of schmoopiness, Nicole goes to work. EJ's debonair expression tenses. Further, the big problem days can't fix when Nicole comes to the paper. She gives Chad a tablet she set up in her office's false bottom. Chad runners through it, fading Abigail's handwriting. The book is filled with stats on ODs and medicine apprehensions. She must have been working on the story just before she failed. Chad calls Jack, who confirms Abby was about to break a heavy story wide open. Nothing ever came from it, so he assumed she dropped it. Chad muses that she didn't, and that it was about Salem's increased medicine business. Chad realizes that Abby was onto Clyde, but did he know about it? Further, Serena Scott Thomas Riddle part confused by Sloane's protestation. Leo wonders why EJ wouldn't want his sprat. She tells him not to ask questions. Leo is having a hard time living with the guilt and asks how she does it. Sloane has come to terms with it and urges Leo to put it behind them. Outraged, Leo says it's not like they forgot to feed the cat or killed a factory. Sloane warns him to stay quiet. In the room above the cantina, a distraught Ava leaves Harris a communication. To herself, she worries she'll have to tell Wendy that her family is dead because of her. She prays Rafe is wrong. Stefan and Kristen find EJ drinking alone at the manse. As the siblings verbally buffet over DiMera Enterprises, Stefan feigns accepting that EJ has the CEO position buttoned up. Rafe stops by to present EJ with substantiation that suggests Gabi is innocent. EJ refuses to renew the case. Abigail's buried Clyde story revealed. EJ keeps Gabi behind bars. Days of Our Lives, DOOL, spoilers recap for Wednesday, May 15th, reveals that Nicole DiMera, Ariane Zucker, talked to EJ DiMera, Dan Feuerigel, about her issues with Holly Jonas, Ashley Puzimis, and all the guardianship drama with Chloe Lane, Nadia Burlin, when Holly was a baby. Nicole had hoped to raise their little boy from day one, but she told EJ that it was ain't in the cards and left him looking shamefaced once she left. At the Spectator on Wednesday's day's occasion, Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, set up Thomas DiMera, Carrie Christopher, in the office and learned he came with Chad DiMera, Billy Flynn, for Take Your Sprat to Work Day. Thomas wanted to be a journalist like Abigail DiMera, last played by Marcy Miller, and was working on a Riddle Meet story for Academy, so Eric offered up a camera for him to exercise taking filmland with. Latterly, Nicole showed up to work and set up a tablet hidden in the false bottom of her office hole. Chad realized Abigail's handwriting was outside and noted that the last entry was just many weeks before her demise. After Chad looked through the information Abigail had gathered, he called Jack Devereaux, Matthew Ashford, and learned Abby was working on commodity heavy that she hadn't offered details about. Grounded on the medicine-related stats, Chad allowed. Abigail was about to break the story of the medicine operation in Salem. Abigail was on to Clyde Weston, James Redd, so Chad wondered if Clyde knew that. In the Domain on Wednesday's day's occasion, Sloan Peterson Brady, Jessica Surfety, set up a drunk Leo Stark, Greg Rickard, and made it clear that he demanded to get over his heartache. Likewise, Sloan argued that Nicole was doing forfeiture without Jude Brady and suggested Leo demanded to move past all the guilt. Leo plotted to do that and wondered how Sloan slept at night under the circumstances. Although Leo was confused over why EJ bought his silence and was taking Jude back, Sloan pushed him to stop asking questions and just recognize his agreement with EJ. Coming on Wednesday's DOOL show, Rafe Hernandez, Galen Gehring, met with Ava Vitale, Tamara Braun, at the apartment where Lee Shin, Remington, and Gil Carter, Davids Lee, both faced grim fates. Since Rafe allowed those fatal crosses were connected, he told Ava that Gil may have come there looking for her the day Lee was wiped out. Ava abominated the study of Wendy Shin's, Victoria Grace, family getting excluded because of her, but Rafe suggested it was a case of Lee being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Rafe didn't suppose he was getting the whole story from Ava, so he asked why Stefan obviously covered for her when he turned himself in. When Rafe wondered if Ava and Stefan were having an affair, she claimed Gabi Hernandez DiMera, last played by Camille Ibanez, was the only woman Stefan loved. Rafe didn't get why Gil came to see Ava at the apartment rather of the eatery, but Ava argued that it was so he'd have nearly private to assault her. Although Rafe brought up Ava's felonious history and kept floundering to understand the situation, Ava cried over what happened with Gil and assured Rafe that she didn't know anything differently. Rafe accepted that for now, but he claimed he wouldn't stop digging since Gabi's freedom was at stake. Once Ava cancelled her shift at the cantina. She sounded worried as she left Harris Michaels, Steve Burton, a voicemail and told him to call her back. Ava was rattled over all the Gil talk and didn't know how she'd tell Wendy that she might have been the reason for Lee's demise. It left Ava hoping Rafe was wrong on Wednesday's day's occasion. Rafe, Stefan and Kristen DiMera, Stacey Hayduke, ultimately ended up at the DiMera manse with EJ, who got updates on the new substantiation that Rafe handed over. Still, EJ wasn't impressed over Gil's point being in Lee's blood on the Black Book. After EJ refused to renew the case and said his decision was final, that left Rafe, Kristen and Stefan outraged. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Stefan will try to go over EJ's head soon, so stay tuned for further prognostications on Gabi's brewing freedom news.